Hey guys, how's it going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're taking a look at a Vietnam War themed loadout. For this loadout, I ran the assault kit with the M16A4 and the M1911, both with no attachments. I also ran with no gadgets except the med bag and the M67 grenade. This is a loadout I'd been wanting to try out for quite some time, and I must admit it was a whole lot of fun to capture this footage. I recorded this loadout on a China Rising Conquest rotation with some fellow PS4 YouTubers, TheFlamingW, Lachlan Cotter and TheManny500, who were also using the same loadout. If you haven't already checked out their YouTube channels, I've got them all linked in the description below, so do yourself a favour and head over and subscribe. We also put out the word on the night to our subscribers on Twitter, many of which who joined in on the loadout. So if you're one of these people, thanks so much for being a part of the video. So what I thought I'd do with this video is run you through some of the history of the M16 assault rifle, which, as you may already be aware, is one of the most important firearms ever produced and certainly one of the most well-known ARs. I won't go into depth about the M1911 though, because I already took a look at that gun in my World War II video recently. If you're still keen to hear my thoughts on it though, then feel free to check out that video. But anyway, the M16 is the military designation for the AR-15 5.56mm air-cooled, gas-operated, magazine-fed, select-fire assault rifle. It was originally designed in 1956 by Eugene Stoner and Leroy James Sullivan working for the Armalite Company. Armalite sold the rights to produce the M16 to Colt in 1959, who has been the primary manufacturer ever since. The M16 has been in service with the US military from 1962, and it's still in service today with the armed forces of many countries. Despite many strong alternatives on the market, the US military's primary service rifle is still the A4 variant of the M16, and its primary carbine is still the M4A1. There are almost countless other variants built on or inspired by the AR-15 platform, but some of the more important ones are the Colt Canada C7 and C8, the Mark 11 and the HK M416. Now I should mention that the M16 used in the Vietnam War was a very different rifle from the M16A4 in service today. The original M16 had a fully automatic mode, whereas the M16A4 is limited to a 3-round burst. The reason for this change was because of how inaccurate sustained fire is compared to short bursts. A 3-round burst was thought to be a decent balance between volume of fire and accuracy, and results in more effective use of ammunition. The M16 from the Vietnam War era was plagued by some serious reliability issues though, and up to 80% of US combat troops reported at least one instance where their weapon had jammed in combat. The reason for this was that the intermediate 5.56mm round fired by the M16 was still relatively new, and although the weapon tested well with high quality ammunition, the dirtier cartridges supplied to the troops often fouled the barrel. Unlike its Soviet rival, the AK-47, the M16 needed to be cleaned frequently to prevent fouling, and generally didn't perform as reliably in the thick and dirty jungle battlefields of Vietnam. In terms of combat performance though, the M16 was far more accurate and controllable than the AK-47, and due to its weight and smaller round, soldiers could carry far more ammunition. As a trade-off though, the M16 didn't have the stopping power of the AK's larger bullet, and due to its lighter frame, it couldn't be used in close quarters as a hand-to-hand weapon. Despite its cons though, the M16's pros have seen it stand the test of time, and it will likely be a weapon seen frequently in the armed forces of many countries for decades to come. But anyway, to finish up this video, how does this weapon perform in-game without attachments? Well, all in all, I actually didn't have a hard time using this weapon. The M16A4 is actually one of my favourite weapons in the game, and it's not hugely affected without attachments. It's got pretty decent iron sights, a great rate of fire, and it's relatively accurate and easy to control to begin with. The only thing I really missed was the angled grip, because this weapon does suffer from a pretty decent first shot kick. I did manage to get used to this though, and despite the fact that we were up against some really good teams on the night, I did reasonably well. So the question is, would I use this loadout again? Well, probably not, but it was fun to play with though, so if you're looking for that nostalgic Vietnam experience, I'd recommend you try out this setup. Alternatively, you could run with the M60 or the M40A5, which are also both US weapons that date from the period. But anyway, that just about wraps it up, and as always, if you like what you see, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please check out all my other Battlefield 4 videos. I've got them all linked in a playlist in the description below. And if you have any suggestions for weapons or loadouts that you'd like to see in upcoming videos on this channel, then feel free to let me know in the comments of this video or send me a tweet on Twitter at BillyEatWorld. But until next time guys, see you later and have a good one.